Today I'm going to show you something that you can do in TypeScript that you can't do in most other languages such as Go and Java. We're going to start off with a function that processes requests and returns a result. And in this result, we're going to have a field that tells us if the request has been successfully processed. If it has been successfully processed, we're going to have a confirmation ID. Otherwise, we'll have an array of errors. Now here, confirmation ID and errors are mutually exclusive. You're going to have one or the other based on what the value of this is. So maybe here in a comment, you might explain the relationship between these fields. And I'm just going to point that out because that'll be relevant later. So let's do the positive case here. So we'll just pretend that if request is equal to the string true, then the processing has been successful. So we're going to return a success object. Confirmation ID here is good job. And here, again, the errors and confirmation ID are mutually exclusive, so we're not going to have any errors. All right, so here we're going to do the negative case. So we're going to return that success was false. Let's see, confirmation ID. Well, I don't know. Empty string for a confirmation ID. I probably want it to be null. Let's see, let's come back to that. And then here we're going to have an error. Not so great job. All right, so here, it doesn't really make sense for current confirmation ID to be here. So let's just get rid of that. And then up here, we can make confirmation ID optional. All right, so now let's say that we're going to have a function that uses this, this process function. We're going to call this handle request. This one's going to be void. We're just going to log out the result here. So let's go ahead and process the request. Here's the result, and let's see, results. Oh, we want to log, right? So if it's been successful, let's go ahead and log success. This is gonna be let's see, result confirmation ID. Otherwise, if it hasn't been successful, we'll log an error. Let's see, errors, join. We'll do this comma separated. All right, and we'll make these, let's see, we'll make these template strings. That's all the rage these days. There we go. So TypeScript supports that. And let's see, we need an if statement around here, right? So we'll say if not result.success, then we're going to do this, else we're going to do this. All right. Well, I just created a bug, right? So here I said, if not success, we're going to log success. Otherwise, we're going to log error. Now, this bug would normally be caught in unit testing or maybe manual testing. But here's the thing I'm going to show you that we can do in TypeScript. We can make this a compile time error such that you don't need to write any unit tests. You don't need to manually test this. The compiler will check this for you. So let's see how we do that. Let's go back up here to result, and let's create two different kinds of results. We're going to have a success result and an error result. So with a success result here, success, instead of just saying it's any old Boolean, we're going to say it's specifically going to be true. And here we're going to have a confirmation ID. And now confirmation ID doesn't have to be optional anymore because now this is only the success case. We know it's always going to be there. So now let's do the error case, error result. This is where success is going to be false. And here's where we'll have our errors. And now result is now going to be either success result or error result. All right, so result is either success or error. So here in the process function, we're going to return result, which is going to be one of these two. Well, here we have our first compile error. So here we're returning the successful result. But remember, now we're encoding that confirmation ID and errors are mutually exclusive. We don't need that comment anymore. Now the type system is the thing that's telling us that these things are mutually exclusive, and it enforces it here. So let's get rid of this. Down below, here's the compilation error that I promised. So here I've said if result is not successful. So here, if it's not successful, we're logging success. Well, if it's not successful, we don't have confirmation ID, which is why this is a compilation error. Once it enters into this if block, it thinks it's a failure case. So now we remove that exclamation point, and now it compiles. And that's something that you can do in TypeScript that you can't do in most languages such as Go and Java. Thank you.